Now, before you ever sing, when you come in the room, make a little eye contact, say good morning, come up, and they're going to ask you your name and what you're going to be doing for them this morning. Okay? You should offer that information. Don't do this. Watch me. Don't do this. How do this? Do you feel like I'm going to be doing it? And I'm going to sing for you. Once again, that's a function of our nervousness. We feel almost as if we're taking up somebody's time with our audition. No, no, no. This 2-3 minutes for you up here on stage, that's your time on stage. So when you come up, say your name really clearly, make nice eye contact with them. Hi, my name is Stephen Finlay. You say it clearly, they can look down and say that, okay, that's who I'm looking at, all right? Tell them what you're going to do. This morning I'll be doing the prologue speech from Shakespeare's Henry IV, and I'll be singing Pretty Women from Sweeney Todd. Then I can begin, okay? It does no good to rush, and you only rush because you're nervous. Right? As soon as I get a little too close, I walk out of the pocket. Okay? So, it doesn't mean you can't move forward. What I always recommend is, see if you can find what center is, and if you want to move forward, start further back. I can start here, and move up into the pocket, and stop. And I haven't gone through my power. Because you see what happens? The closer I come right up to the edge of this, and I'm gone. Right? So what you want to do is you want to find that place in the room, especially when you're going to sing. You want to find that place in the room where you have the maximum focus and where all this will work for you. You come down too close to the auditioner and start belting out, and you know what the auditioner is going to do? The auditioner is going to start leaning back away from you. Most directors will make a decision about your ability in the first 35 seconds. Right? It's the first 35 seconds that they're going to make that decision on. If you get them with you during that 35 seconds, they will stay with you for the entire audition. But if you lose their interest in that first 35 seconds, they'll flip your headshot over and they'll start looking at your resume and they'll make notes and they'll set that aside and they'll be doing a lot of other things but watching you in your most important 2 minutes as a performer. And if you do a storytelling monologue in an audition, the first thing that happens to you as an actor is that you're always talking about the past, never the present. And the present in the theater is where all the interest is. Now, having said that, let me give you some warnings. Number one, playwrights love storytelling monologues. They write tons of them. And if you get a monologue book that has like 200 monologues, you're going to find mostly storytelling monologues. And what I mean by storytelling is a monologue that goes like this. When I was 7, I was on the beach with my parents. And I wandered off a little bit and the sun went down, and when I turned around I couldn't see them, only their footsteps in the sand going away. And I ran and ran after them and tried to get to them, and then finally I saw them getting in a boat. Okay? Now, that may be a very compelling story, but it's not the same audition as if I'm talking to another person. So I'm always looking for that 1 minute of text where I'm speaking to someone else, trying to get them to do something. Don't you ever speak to me like that again. I've never had anyone speak to me like that, and you're not going to be the first. You see immediately the difference in the way it performs? It immediately comes toward you in action, and you become much stronger up here.
Should you be choosing a monologue for the part that you want in the play, like as a comedic or dramatic or?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of times that's worth a phone call to the director. Some directors want to see you read material from the show. Some directors would rather you not. And I think that's probably personal preference on the part of a director. I personally don't mind seeing things from the show we're doing. My partner, Craig Miller, does not want to see those things. He wants to see other material. So it's worth just saying, Should we do something from the show? And if they say no, be ready to have something. I'll tell you, I have a notebook at home of monologues that I've collected over a number of years. I have about 12 of them. I have some contemporary, I have some serious, I have some comic, I have some Shakespeare. I have a wide range of things so that I have some things to pick from when I decide to go to an audition. If I'm going to audition for a slapstick farce comedy, I don't want to take King Lear. I don't want to do Hamlet. I want to do something that shows that I can handle that comedy, handle that kind of timing. Okay, here's another rookie mistake. Never use the auditioner as the other person in the scene. Don't you ever speak to me like that again. If you talk to me like that again, I'm going to bust you in the nose. I focused on Allie. Now, most directors are very kind people, and if you want them to make eye contact with you, they will. But it puts them in an uncomfortable position. If they want to write something down, if they want to make a note, that means they've got to take their energy away from you to do it. So never use the auditioner as the other person in the scene. What you want to do instead is what I did the first time, and that's place the person you're talking to just over the head of the person. You can't prepare this audition in 24 hours, right? Because if you prepare this audition in 24 hours, when you get up here, you know what we're going to see? Fear. Fear of not remembering the words, fear of trying to remember the song, fear, 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 fear. And that doesn't show you off. That doesn't show off what you can do as a performer. So if there's a prop referred to, you don't need the prop, right? Don't costume yourself for an audition. You know, like, if you're auditioning for The Wizard of Oz, don't come in a blue gingham dress with your hair in pigtails, please. We don't need to see that, right? We've got a costume designer who's going to make you look right. We're looking at you, the performer. Don't wear something that calls attention to itself, right? Don't wear some wild t-shirt with something that you have to read on it, because all people will be looking at is reading your shirt. You want them to focus right here. This is where all the magic happens for us.